Well, good morning, church family and friends. I want to come to you today as a recap or summary of last night's initial get together of Salem Avenue as we came together for a time of Bible study and prayer. And over the next month, we will be spending time exploring the Lord's Prayer together. And so each week we'll take a section, a verse out of the Lord's Prayer found in Matthew 6, and we will unpack that, understand more of what Jesus' meaning was with that verse and how he instructed us to pray. We'll share testimonies with each other and about how that is applied in our own lives during this time of social distancing and working through our pandemic circumstances. And then we spent time in prayer. And so if you are not able to be with us or uncomfortable at this time getting out, then each week I'll try to do a short recap video of what we covered the night before. So watch for that every Thursday morning. Last night we began our time together. We recited the Lord's Prayer in its totality in the Old English King James Version that many of us grew up learning and memorizing. And then we focused in on Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. And we looked at four phrases in that passage. First, Jesus encourages us to pray, Our Father. That God is a father figure for us, the ideal father figure for us. He's there to love us unconditionally, to give us guidance in our lives, that we can cry out to him. He is close and intimate with us as his people. And our, that plural pronoun, reminds us that we are all a part of one family, that we unite together. It's not just Jesus' father. God is not just the father of the Jewish people. God is our father. He is a father to all of us. And then we looked at who art in heaven, that God resides in the highest of heavens, not the first level of heaven, the daytime sky, not just the second level of heaven, the nighttime sky, but that uttermost perspective, that eternal place of his residency, high above all that's created, outside of time, outside of our existence. He is above all things. And as the creator and sustainer of all life, he has a far better perspective on what we need than what we do. And so this helps remind us that God is both a close, intimate father, but he is also far removed and has a much better vantage point to look at the matters of our lives and to provide guidance. And then third, we looked at the phrase, hallowed be, holy is the name of our God. God is holy. And so while he's both immanent and close to us and right near us, as close as our breath and our heartbeat, he is also totally other than us. He is separate. He is completely righteous and good, and we are not. And so the only way that we can experience his righteousness and his goodness is for him to impart it to us as a gift. We don't achieve it, we don't earn it, we don't deserve it, but he gives us this gracious gift. And this holiness is affixed to his name. The name Yahweh that was revealed to Moses in the burning bush, that personal name of God, he is a personal God to us. He's not just a God aloft in the heavens, but he is right here with us, and he calls us by name, and he shares his name with us. He is the God Yahweh who was and is and always will be. He is the God who was with the people in the biblical day. He's the God who is with us today during this time of the pandemic, and he is the God who will continue to be with us in the days to come. And so we enjoyed a time of sharing with each other about how we have experienced our Father who is in heaven. Hallowed be your name. And we shared testimonies about how we had seen God at work in our lives and in our church and in our community and in our world as a father figure who has a far better vantage point perspective on life than we do, who is holy and different than us, and yet who has called us by name and shared with us his name as we proclaim the name of Christ and become Christian people. And then we spent time on our knees before the Lord in the presence of God, both privately, quietly, taking some time to pray, and then being led in prayer by different church members to pray for the sick, the lost, our local officials, and our church, and to spend some time celebrating all that God's been doing. And so even if you weren't able to be here with us last night, I hope you'll take time to focus in that your God is a father to you. He has a far better vantage point from heaven of what's going on in your life than you do. That he is a God who is holy and different than you and I, and we can turn to him and find that he is a God who still longs to have a personal relationship with us and who calls us by name and who reveals himself to us by his name. May the Lord bless and keep you. May his face shine upon you, and may you be the presence of Christ in the world today. God bless.